With the first round of the draft completed, it's time to sit back and hand out some awards. Really look and see who the winner was, who the loser was, maybe somebody that might creep up and surprise some folks here over the next couple of years in the NBA. To help us do that, we've got a couple of insiders. Chris Spatola, who covers Duke for us, as well as Florida insider Chris Harry. Spatola, we're going to start with you. Who's the biggest winner and the best pick? Who you give that award to tonight?
Well, I don't know if it's because of their acumen or not, but I have to give it to Sacramento taking Ben McLemore. And, a lot of times success in the draft is about not overthinking it. And when a guy I had is probably the most talented player in the draft falls to you at number 7, you have to take that guy. And the fact that they did, kudos to them. They've got to be the success of the night.
Well, I think the best pick in this very uncertain draft is probably the safest pick. And I got to go with Otto Porter going 3rd overall to Washington. I mean, the guy at Georgetown was really had a complete floor game, run up and down, can play both ends. And in a draft with so much uncertainty at the top, I mean, nobody expected Anthony Bennett to go number 1. I think the Washington Wizards stayed where they wanted to go, stayed right down the street at Georgetown, and went where they should have gone with Otto Porter.
All right, Chris Spatola, really a lot of uncertainty and a lot of movement here in the first round with trades and a lot of players going to different places. So that leads us to the next category, which is the worst pick. Who would you give that to?
Well, if people weren't shocked by Anthony Bennett going first, they were certainly shocked when Michael Jordan as executive struck again and the Bobcats took Cody Zeller, an absolutely atrocious pick. When you have Nerlens Noel, who forever was the number 1 pick in the draft in a lot of mock drafts, Ben McLemore, both sitting out there, and you take a guy who's going to have to go through a positional transformation in the league and a guy who really is not a proven player compared to those other two, that's for me, that's a bad pick.
Yeah, and he's exactly right. I'm going to agree with him 100%. Cody Zeller, a lot of people thought was going to be the 1st overall pick. People were talking about him this time last year. I think Michael Jordan was using his 2012 evaluations to go with his best pick. Cody Zeller at number 4. I don't think that was a good pick at all. That was the worst pick by far in the lottery.
Michael may have thought he was picking Tyler Zeller from North Carolina. He may have gotten the Zellers mixed up. Who knows?
Well, maybe because Kwame Brown wasn't available.
All right, so Damian Lillard goes number 6 overall a year ago, Chris Spatola, and he's able to win the NBA Rookie of the Year. I don't know if you'd necessarily call that a sleeper pick, but give us your sleeper from the draft this year.
Yeah, I would call Lillard a sleeper pick, and mine for this year would be Shane Larkin at number 18. I actually had him ahead of a Trey Burke and a Michael Carter-Williams. I really like him. He's a terrific athlete. If you can surround him with some other pieces, for me, I look at guys who have made improvement over the course of their college years, and when you compare his sophomore year to his freshman year, the improvement he made was exceptional. I think he's got a bright future in the league.
Chris not only has my name, he has my sleeper pick, and he also had my worst pick. This guy took over the ACC last year. Shane Larkin, nobody expected Miami to do anything in the Atlantic Coast Conference last year. They swept the ACC regular season title. The guy was one of the best players in the country. Shane Larkin's my sleeper too. I think Dallas made a nice deal going after and get that guy.
And it's one thing to win, it's another thing to win as the leader of the team. And I think Shane Larkin certainly did that for the Hurricanes. All right, Chris Spatola and Chris Harry, gentlemen, thanks very much. For continuing coverage of the NBA draft, keep it here to CampusInsiders.com. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter @CampusInsiders.